Very fine. Okay. I don't know now what to talk. I'm very glad to meet you all. Pehle to namaste to you all. Namaste to all of you. I'm very glad to be here at Hong Kong. यहाँ आप लोगों के साथ में it's lovely to be. I can see ये सारे जो shows किए कितनी sincerity. It was really done very well, very well. So now today I have been given this topic, decoding mind for greater joy and happiness. Now whenever in yoga we talk about mind, we should know that entire yoga is for mind only. We do asanas to train our mind. We do pranayams to train our mind. We have to understand that human mind is what? तो पहले तो ये समझ ले कि what is this human mind? Yogis say that our mind has two things. One, intellect. That is the capacity to think, reasoning out, analyzing, scientifically putting things across. That is one capacity which we all have. And second, what we have in our mind is our emotions. When we are asked, where is your mind? This is our brain. Brain is like an organ, like eyes or ears or nose or everything. Mind is everywhere in our body, every cell. Every cell has its own intelligence. So mind is everywhere. In yoga, we say mind is a coordinator. I want to see something, my mind has to go there to my eye, then I will be able to see properly. If mind is somewhere and eyes are open, I won't see anything much. I'm sure all of you have experienced this. So, this human mind, yogis say that it needs training because it is highly developed mind. We are not like animals. Animals are very simple. They function instinctively. Bhook lagi, they are hungry, then they think of food. Till then they don't think of food. And we humans, what we are? We think of food all the time. Abhi sabere khaya, what will I eat in the evening? Animals are simple. Thirsty, then they go near water and drink. That's animal life. Humans are highly developed and so highly complicated. Human mind needs training. And yogis have found out how to go about. Yogis have gone into detail of human psychology, the purpose of life, philosophy, and the technology. Technology is very popular. Asanas, pranayams, meditations, kriyas, bandhas, mudras, all these are yogic technologies, which are very popular. People go on doing these asanas and pranayam and go on making it more difficult and difficult, which is not required. What is required is, as Ramesh Ahuja said, what is required is to see that the mind helps us to become focused. And with that focused mind, when we start educating ourselves, do something with ourselves or do any work, then that mind would be of any use. Otherwise it is useless. It creates its own problem. Our emotions are either positive or negative. That's the whole thing. Intellect and emotions. So emotions, if they are positive, they can take you to the best state. Love, care, compassion, peace. These are all positive emotions, and we all should remain in these positive emotions. But we don't, because we have negative emotions also. Anger, hatred, jealousy, frustration, worry, tension, all these are our negative emotions. Whenever we are into negative emotions, what happens? Yogis have observed. I get angry, what happens to me? My blood pressure will shoot up, my pulse will go fast, my breathing will become shallow, my body will have impurities now because I am not giving oxygen to my body. impurity, and this impure blood will go in every organ of my body, altering the function of every organ. And that will create the whole problem. Now, whatever food I have eaten, body should convert that food into energy, but body can't do it because sick can't handle. So what will happen? Body will store the food or throw the food out. So body will store fat as it is. So either externally we start putting on weight, or internally we have atherosclerosis, thickening of arteries, or cholesterol going high, triglyceride going high, and all that. The root cause of all disease lies in mind. Body stores glucose, so diabetes sets in. See how we are getting affected. Why all this is happening? Because we got angry. We got disturbed. Something happened which we didn't like. So where is the problem? Situation is the problem or something else? There is a famous story of Durvasa. You all must have heard the story of Durvasa. Durvasa was a tapasvi. In our country, we had lots of tapasvi. Tapasvis, they do lots of meditation. They do tapasya to that extent that they have so much of power with them, so much of strength, power. They say and things have to happen. That sort of a thing. But then Durvasa, when he went to Shakuntala at that time over there, now we have forgotten the story of Dushyant and Shakuntala. And Shakuntala was busy thinking about Raja Dushyant, and he went there, Pikshan Dehi, and she was busy thinking about her beloved. He was angry. How could she ignore me? Me, Durvasa. How could she ignore? And so he cursed her. That you are thinking of somebody, that somebody will forget you. It was quite a great thing. Very, very difficult. Of course, the whole story goes that then Durvasa realized that what have I done? Why should I get angry? Now such a tapasvi also can get angry. So then what he does is, then he goes to jungle and does meditation, cleansing of mind, yoga, does all that to again come to a normal balanced state. Durvasa is known for that. Now if Durvasa can get angry, you and me can in any case get angry. There are situations which will cause anger in us. In one family itself, you will find all the varieties coming together. Have you noticed that? Every human who is born is one variety. हम सब एक एक नमूना है. Add this variety, somebody can get angry very easily. Somebody is very calm, doesn't speak much. Somebody talks roundabout, somebody plays politics. Somebody is negative all the time. World is bad, everything is bad, nobody cares for us. Somebody is jealous, all such varieties. We are also one variety, and we also can get disturbed. To deal with all these varieties is not so easy. Something is required to deal with it. Otherwise, very easily we can get angry, we can get hurt, we can get disturbed, upset, tensed. But it is going to harm you. Root cause of all disease lies in mind. Straight away yoga says. Why should we get sick? We are supposed to remain healthy. And old age doesn't mean sickness at all. Old age is the best age, where you don't have worry for running around and do anything, earning your livelihood, and yeah, you can do at your own pace, do whatever you want also. But no, sickness comes in because somewhere we have ignored the signals which your body was giving you. You have ignored. I am not going to that line. We will sometimes talk later on about it. I am going back to human mind. That it is easy to get angry, but what is the root cause of our anger? Yoga says that it is your kleshas, kleshas with which we are born. We have these 5 kleshas with us, which we are born. First itself is ignorance. Ignorance is one major klesha that we are born with. We don't even know who you are, what we are. There is such a strong statement given in Yoga Sutras. The yoga is written in sutra form, minimum words, exact words. And so you don't misinterpret anything. You understand as it is, these sutras. And for avidya, sutra is anitya, ashuchi, dukkha, anatmasu, nitya, shukhi, sukha, atmasu, khyatir, avidya. Now that anitya and nitya. Ashuchi means impure and pure, these dualities. Anitya. What is nitya and what is anitya? What is permanent and what is impermanent? We should know. Do you think this body is permanent? Body is also impermanent, it's going to go. Do you think our relations are permanent? All these relations, son and daughter and husband and wife and mother and father, all these are impermanent. They are not permanent. And we unfortunately are carrying on. But we think they are permanent. So we get hurt, we get affected, we worry, and we do all that. But that's our ignorance, avidya. You know, we don't even know that what is nitya. Nitya is our consciousness, our soul, our atma, our consciousness, our chaitanyata. That is permanent. After body goes away, still it is there. And what is the strength of soul? Strength is very clear, that it has all the knowledge, all the energy. It knows exactly what's going to happen, what's happening, and so on. That consciousness, when we all have, we forget that we have all the capacity in us, all the knowledge comes from within, all the energy comes from within, which we don't know. And we are running here and there for all the relations, and that creates the problem. We should know that we can do anything if we want. If we are focused, if we know what's required, we can do it, and you will get the direction from within, because everything is within. So to reach to within, we should sit quietly, stop worrying, stop getting tensed, and be peaceful. Be at peace with ourselves. And you will definitely get some signal from inside that here, you have a problem, you will get an answer. I guarantee you that the answer is from within. In the next day morning, you will be told by inner self that do this, and you do it. Or maybe I was talking to Ramesh Ahuja, and he was telling me that every day when he sleeps and is in peaceful state, meditates, and be in a peaceful state. And sleep itself is a very peaceful state. Good sleep is a must. In the morning he gets up, and the first thought which comes, he writes it down. And that becomes his direction in life, how to go about. And you all should try that out. That have faith within yourself. You should know what is your capacity. That Hanumanji story, you know, that Hanumanji had forgotten his capacity. And then he was told, go to Lanka and Hanuman, and he says, I can't. And he was made to realize that you can do, Hanuman. You can do everything. And he was made to realize, and slowly he remembered, and slowly he could understand, and then he had a plunge. He went. What a capacity he had. And all these capacities are given in Yoga Sutra. That if you really develop the focus of your mind. That is dharana, dhyan, and samadhi. You can develop anything. You can do quite a lot. And so, we should focus on permanent and impermanent. We should identify that ये जो impermanent चीज़ है, we should not get so much affected by it. Ashuchi, we call something pure, but everything is impure. Our body is impure. Something which is going to decay is body. It is an impure. Something which is going to give you pain, you think it is not giving me pain. Because we get pleasure from our relations, pleasure when somebody behaves very sweetly. When somebody behaves rudely, we get upset. So this level when we have, all these relations are wrong, but we get pleasure. But it is really painful. Something which is not yours, you call it yours. Again, what is yours is consciousness. Your own God. Your own Chaitanyata. That is yours. Rest is not yours. But we behave like that. So all this is the definition of avidya. That is the first klesha which we should remove. We should start thinking in that fashion. Then comes another klesha, and that is asmita, ego. Ego. Do you think there is a place for ego in life? Whenever we are successful, do you think it is only your hard work that you have become successful? You wanted to come here. If on the way, if some car didn't work or some accident occurred or somebody was going to come and you couldn't come here. Since everything was cooperating with you, cordial with you, you could come here. It was clear. Anything you do, it's the cooperation and coordination of the whole thing along, and that makes it successful or failure. There is nothing like failure. Failure is also part on the way of success only. We fail, that means it is wrong. Success, failure is not opposite to success. Don't think like that. Failure is on the way of success. Through failure we learn. How much we learn through failure, do you know? All the pains and suffering and anxiety, how much we learn. Otherwise, learning would have been very poor. So, this is part of your growth only. Ego has no place. When person has more money, person has ego. When person has more degree, person feels his ego. I am somebody. And you can see that person, the way in which he walks, the way in which he talks, little more money and his behavior becomes little curt, doesn't want to mix with those who are not at their level. All this is so wrong. We are doing wrong karmas. Why we say don't get angry? Because under the influence of anger, you speak anything, you behave in all these ways, and you are doing a wrong karmas. Finally, we are all bound of our own karma. Yoga makes it very much clear. Whatever action you do, you have to face the consequences of your action. 100% scientific. As you sow, so shall you reap. Jaisa karoge, vaisa bharoge. This though you have heard. But you get unhappy because of somebody was not up to your level and your behavior was rude. In your life, somebody you will find who would also behave in the same way to you. And you will wonder why people are like that. You should know that we create our own world. We create our own world. And so we should try and see that we create some good world. Let person have less money or more money. That person is human being who is a creation of God, and you should respect that human, love that human, bring that joy with that human. Rather, you should be more humble with that human. And showing off is wrong. Ego has no place. Ego is an outcome of avidya. So please do that. The whole Mahabharata, Duryodhan. Now Duryodhan known for his ego, very strong ego. And when he was told to see that palace, so he went there. And that palace was constructed so beautifully that he couldn't identify which is the land and which is the water. So he was walking to reach to Yudhishthir, and on the way he felt it's a water. So he lifted his dhoti up, but there was no water. The land was very smooth. So later on, when there was water, he thought it is a smooth land, so he splashed. And Draupadi said, Andhe ka beta andha. Now Duryodhan took it very negatively. We can take it very positively also. कह सकते ना, हाँ भाई द्रौपदी, मेरा फादर तो अंधा है मगर उसमें बहुत क्वालिटीज़ हैं जो आपको देखनी आनी चाहिए. अगर किसी ने अंधा बोल दिया, if somebody else, why should you feel bad? You feel bad and then you become an enemy and then you want to kill somebody, and all this Mahabharata should not have been there. Look at that. Bhishma Pitama, he took an oath that I will not marry because otherwise my son will claim the throne, and I will support that king which is going to be the king of that place. Now these two oaths, that he will support and he will not marry. Fine, at that time he took the oath, but later on the situations changed. Later on Duryodhan was not listening to him at all. Not at all. He was going against all his advices. So he should not have been there at the time of war. He should have left Duryodhan and come to Pandavas, which he didn't do. His ego, I took an oath. That ego created problem. Otherwise, if Bhishma Pitama was at Pandava with Krishna, war would not have happened at all. Somehow, we sometimes take some decisions in life. Sometimes we speak something. I'm sure husband and wife, how many times they must have spoken, kya tumse shaadi ki? How did I found you out here? I had so many others. And unfortunately, how stupid we talk. What we did at that time according to our own intelligence. We have been given with intelligence. Now situations are changing. Now you have changed. Everything has changed. And so you feel regretted. Don't go into past and regret the past. Never do that. Because past can give you messages. You can learn from your past. But live in present. So this ego, somehow, we have to see that we become humble, we become more caring, more compassionate, and not just show our ego. In Mumbai, there was a case when one lady servant, the helpers in the house, she went to a man, the boss. He says, sir, my son has finished 12th standard and now he doesn't want to study because I need some support. So he has to earn money. I'm right now working in the houses, washing vessels and all that, and you are paying me, but I need more. And so please, sir, can you give him some job? Sir says, I have no job. But he says, no, I know that. But you know one friend who has factories. Can you tell him to give a job to my son? This fellow said, no, I don't take anybody's, this what we call as daya. It's like he is giving me some, I don't want to ask for anything. I don't want to ask. You are not asking for yourself, you are asking for servant. But no, I don't do that. I will not tell my friend. It was so funny. Asking is the first thing we tell in spirituality to keep your ego down. Come on, you need some help, ask. Why should you feel that I can never ask? What very wrong approach to life. Somehow he also thought, and then next day he phoned his friend that my servant is there and son is there. And if you have any job, please, boy is very good, he is sincere. So he says, usko bhej do mere paas, kal. So the boy went there, and when he saw the boy, his sincerity, he was very glad. Usne phone kiya, he phoned, says that I'm glad that boy is good and I'm keeping him for a job. After a week, the lady servant comes with flowers and coconut and puts that in the feet of him and says, sir, you are a God for me. Because of you, now my life is much better and smoother. That joy which he got at that time was much superior joy than the joy you get by earning more money or going ahead in a big car or doing anything big. It is very, very clear. In Yoga Shastras they have written, such joy is 16 times more bigger joy when you are useful to others, when you are helpful to others, when you care for others, when you behave sweetly and lovingly with others. That joy is absolutely different than all other material possession joy. And so we should be careful about it. These are all our kleshas, and kleshas make our life kalushit. That is, make our life totally unhealthy, painful, with full of diseases, suffering, and so on. So that is ego, avidya, asmita. Third is rag. Rag means attachment. Do you know how much painful the attachment is? Have you any idea? Raga. Sukha nushai ragaha. That is a sutra. Anything which gives you sukh, you get attached to that sukh. You want that sukh. And so that is rag. And that is a klesha. That should be removed from your life. Don't be attached. Learn to see things in a detached way. Understand? If I am so much attached to my child, my son, so when son gets sick, even I will get sick. How am I going to help my son? You are not even doing your duty if you are attached. Bring detachment. A child is sick, then you will be able to handle that child better. Detachment is required in life. And so they say attachment out. There was one man who was not having a good job and he went abroad. He got a nice job abroad and he went there, and within 10 years, he made lots of money. He did some business and it was successful and he made lots of money. When he went, his wife was pregnant. He says that I want to give the best to my child. This is a very wrong thinking of every parents, that they think that they should give the best to their child. Parents have worked very hard, struggled from nothing, they have made everything. And then they say we want to give the best. That struggle is so important to become matured. वो सोना तपते 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 वो मेटल सोना बनता है. Polished होता है तो diamond होता है. That is so important, and that children have not done. And then they feel they get the money. But whatever it is, here what happened, I give you the story. So he went abroad. So after 10 years, he wanted to come back because the child had become 10-year-old. And the boy was also very excited. At that time, this is a real story. All this mobile and all that easy communication was not there. And he comes, and from there he takes a flight and he comes and he tells that I am coming this day. Child was very, very excited. He says, I am going to pick up my father on the way, where father was going to stay for a night in a hotel to reach to Mumbai. So child also from here went. He was very smart. He went there. On the way he he had some infection of stomach or something, and he had a very high fever. And he was coughing and sneezing, and he also was put up in a hotel. The father was also in the same hotel. But when child was there, he was half conscious. I mean, his consciousness, he was little bit in a very poor state. So the manager put him, the child, but he was coughing so badly, and he was showing that he is under pain, that this rich man who was in the hotel, he was hearing that sound. He says, "Kaun khas raha hai? Who is coughing so much?" So the people said, manager said, "One child has come and he is little sick." So this rich man says, "I don't care. I want to sleep well at night, and this boy is creating lots of pain in me. He won't be able to, I won't be able to sleep well. I want to be fresh and fine when I meet my child and my wife. So what do we do, sir?" "Remove him out." He says, "Remove. Don't." So those people did that. Next day morning, this fellow slept well and got up. And then finally, he was just going out of the hotel, and he suddenly asked, "Who was that boy? What happened to that boy?" They said that, well, that boy had something wrong, and he died. Finally, he died. "Acha, it's okay. So many come and go. What difference does it?" he said. But then he still inquired from where he had come. So he said, "From that village." "What was his name?" And this name was told. And he said, "Oh my God, my son. And he died." And the pain came when it was his son. It was somebody else's son, there was no pain. Somebody else suffered, there was no pain. But my son and the pain. So that is the whole problem with me and mine. And that's what yoga says, that please, if you are good, you should be good to everybody, and not to just your people, not to just your business and your thing. So we have to become free from all these kleshas. So that is raga. Another klesha is dvesh. Something which gives you pain, problem. You hate it. You don't like it. Father gave more money to one brother of mine, and next brother didn't get money. And so there is a tension. And by you earn your own money, why are you dependent on father? If father wants to give to somebody, let him give. In one family, the father in Bombay, I have all the experiences of that father's wife died earlier, and then he got married again. And the children said, "You got married, now all the money would be shared to her. Father will give all the money to her, and we can't tolerate that." So everybody, even children, they want nothing else but money from father. Whole world has become quite materialistic, and that is very strong klesha in us. I always tell people that if you have earned money, you keep it. And in any case, let children go through their own ups and downs of life. And if they are working hard, help them. But easy money always creates problem. Fine. So here the case was very clear that trying to see that hatred, comparison, and all that should stop. And finally, last klesha is abhinivesh, selfishness, love of your own life, or fear of death. How many fears we have in our life? Fear, डर लगता है. मैंने पूछा एक बार क्लास में, in the class, how many fears? They say, "Hansaji, I am afraid of cockroach. Cockroach is my fear." Well, lizard is my fear. One family I met where husband has a fear of lizard and wife has a fear of cockroach. And they are shouting and howling. Very often the sound comes from that place. Fear? How do you remove fear? So many fears are there. we should know that what is opposite fear is faith. Faith in higher reality. Nobody, why should somebody hurt you or harm you if you have not harmed anybody? Why bring fear? Instead of fear, think, stop thinking. Instead of thinking, ye hoga, wo hoga, future, you never know what the future is going to be. Why can't you take it as an adventure? That whatever will be, it's like an adventure to me. And I'll face it. All these years I have faced it, I'll face it again. Somewhere, we have to work on this selfishness of ours. Me, my life, my everything, don't care for others. That should never come. And so, in short, these are all 5 kleshas, which yoga talks about very strongly, that finally we have to overcome all these kleshas. Ashuddhi. So there is a sutra, Ashuddhi kshaye, jnana diptir viveka khyati. Once these ashuddhis are removed, then the knowledge comes. Then the knowledge comes. Otherwise it will not come. And knowledge, once it comes, all the pains and sufferings and chaos goes away. And we get into viveka khyati. Our buddhi, normal buddhi, logic buddhi is one thing. When it becomes superior buddhi, it is called as viveka buddhi, where you can discriminate between consciousness and matter. That discrimination comes with that intellect. So the problem is always with matter, material world. If you go to consciousness, no problem. You can just flow with life. Situations happen, the problems are there, anything is there. They come and go. Thought comes and goes, tension comes and goes, worries come and go. Where do they stay? They come and go. Why hold on to all these things? So today, I could just give you a takeaway, because you have to work with yourself and for yourself to yourself. So self, S-E-L-F, these 4 words you should know. S is for smile. Definitely. You can take the tension with smile or with frown. When you smile, half of the tension in any case goes away. When you smile and be very, very gentle and humble with situations, quite a lot of problems are gone. When there is a tension, you can always, tension or no tension, smile is the first thing you should do. Look at your mirror and don't see how I look. Just see whether I am smiling or not. People keep mirror in there to see whether everything is fine or not. No, see your expression. Smile is there or not. And you should be, S is for smile, self. E is for exercise. You should be exercising. You should see that your body is active. Choti cheezein karo. The moment you wake up, I am giving all these in my YouTube talk. The moment you wake up, what you should do? Just sitting for a long time. Now walk a little bit. Or in the office, you are sitting in front of computer. At least stand, take one long breath and sit down. I give 20-20 formula. Every 20 minutes, you should change your position. Our mind also works like that. Memory also works like that. Little bit position has to change. अगर पाँव ये यूँ रखा है तो दूसरा रखो. चलो, एक पाँव पे खड़े हो जाओ. कुछ तो करो, change. If you are writing with right hand, take a pen and do some round and something with left hand, because that would help developing your both side of brain. Otherwise, as we grow, our memory also goes down. But if you do something like this, something new, not where you are comfortable, comfort zone se bahar niklo, come out of your comfort zone. All the time comfort, very wrong. You should come out of that and do something which is very interesting. एक colors ही ले लो और थोड़ा line ही कर डालो, left हाथ से, right, both side. in yoga, all the asanas are that simple asana, that you are holding your hand from right side and then holding from left. We did this chair asana also. Both the sides we do, not only one side. So we have to use all these things in our life. Better. But exercise is a must. Being physically active is a must. And here we should see that this balance has to come. Excessive is, anything in excess is wrong. Too much of exercise, too much of walking. I know when I used to go to Juhu Beach at Mumbai in the earlier time, within 7 minutes I would take a car, drive up to beach. Within 7 minutes I would reach to Juhu Beach from the Yoga Institute. And there I would walk in the morning. And I would see one gentleman who had a factory of pencil, I think so. He was doing very well in his business. He would walk. Hansaji, fine, walk. From Andheri to Khar Danda, he would be walking on beach. From there, he will come back again. And I heard that he would take 3 rounds of walking. I asked him, why are you walking so much? He says, I enjoy walking. You enjoy walking, but anything excess is wrong. And then I heard that he had a heart attack and he died very soon. There was another person who was doing running. Now he is a gynecologist in our Khar, very famous gynec. And he had taken to running. So in the morning he would go for running. But whole day you are just sitting and counseling and talking in your chair. This is not your lifestyle. Running is not your lifestyle. And so you are just sitting, which is so wrong. If your lifestyle was running, then no problem. But he would do that, and he had a heart attack right on the road in Khar, and he died. So let's not do anything in excess when it comes to physical movement and all that. Do little. Balance life now, middle path. That is better. And then, को क्या हुआ? Self है ना? So exercise. And then L is for learning. We should be learning. From us, we should be learning from others. Others, when they are suffering, learn why. We should learn. Learning is very important. Every minute we should be learning. And then finally, F is for friends. Friends. Make friendship. Talk to friends. Be with friends. To be friendly, we will be definitely very, take things positively. अगर friend ने बोल दिया stupid, क्या बकवास करता है, you don't feel bad. मेरा दोस्त है. But if somebody else says, your family member also says, you'll tell, how dare you can talk like that. Come on, yeah, everybody is your friend and not your enemy. So this self, keep in mind and put this in your life, and I'm sure then joy has to come. Ashuddhi gai, kleshas gai, knowledge आया, vivek buddhi आई. So let's work on our self. Okay? Namaste.
Wow. As promised, yes, our lives have changed forever. And Guruma, we do have a few questions. We like to ask you. 2 questions हम पूछना चाहेंगे ज़रूर. And as I said, we have the unveiling, and you also have Parshad. So please be here with us for the next 10 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. This is very, very special. Today's children are addicted to social media. How can we help them to not compare themselves to others?
If I've understood it, today's children are, again?
Social media. Children are all addicted to social media. How can we help them?
I would tell that children should be put to some physical activity. Either they should learn badminton, table tennis, this and that. And when they are with mobile or with computer, you should sit with them and talk to them. You should, if you are with them, they will not be addicted. Because in the house also you can play with them. Some games should be there with which you should play with them, and you can manage. It's not, and don't worry, these are all temporary phases. Once they become little responsible, they will not do it.
I'm going to take one more question. Ladies and gentlemen, please be here with us. We do have a surprise for all of you. I want to be like you. Where do I begin?
You want to? I've given you formula, no? Self. Just follow that. You see, life should be lived for others, not for self. For self, you need very little time. Little organized life and you will be able to manage. But whole time should be for others. Help others. Take care of others. Whatever you are good in, try to give that. Whatever you are weak, learn. All these things should happen. So I think so.
We'll take only one last question. This is very interesting. How to help people who refuse help? My husband refuses to learn yoga.
Don't be after your husband, yaar. What are you doing? पीछे पड़ गए हो husband के. You live yoga way of life. You show how you can maintain balance when he is worrying. You show how you are taking charge of your food habits, and that effect would be there. It's a have patience, slow and steady. That would be better. Don't force anybody that do yoga. They will start hating yoga and tell you get out. You better go and stay with Hansaji or Sanghitaji. No, yeah. The Chanakya has mentioned this very clearly that first 5 years of your life you are protecting your child. From 5 to maximum 15 years, you are teaching your child what is right, what is wrong. This is how you should wash your hand. This is how you should take bath. And child, sam dam dandabhet, kabhi pyar se, kabhi jara firm hoke, kabhi barter system. You do this for me, I'll do this for you. These are all ways in which you make child understand. But after 15, he is your friend. Friend. Some grown-up bachche are friends of parents. They are friends. Create that friendliness with them, and that would help everybody. So try and do that.
Beautiful souls, please may I request you all to give a huge roar of applause